Let me hear you say pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da. Crazy at this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. It's why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future in me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. 'Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future in me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da.
Good morning and welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is Thursday, March the 30th, 2023. Can you imagine? The month is gone. The month is gone. What did you do this month? What did you accomplish this month? It's gone. Okay? And right now it's 33 or more degrees in Providence, Rhode Island, kind of cold. Today it might be cloudy. Well, there's sun here and there. Be aware. Check your news and know about that. Okay? Liberia is mine. Is mine in your land. And that's a fact. How are we going to maneuver this land? How are we going to ensure that this land remains ours forever? As we sing in our anthem, every time we sing, this land that God has given us, how long is it going to be ours? Now, if you have read my various posts this morning, I don't want an American command base in Liberia. I don't want it. No matter how much money it is, I don't want it because it places us in a precarious situation, a shaky situation, an uncertain situation. America owes us nothing. Look at us from 1980 to this day. America denied us. They said they had no interest in our country. And this is our oldest traditional friends. Then they take all these warlords and war criminals and put them over us and give them money and give them wealth to suppress our country. Now they won't build base. Who's going to suffer if America build a base? We would be the first target of any American enemy. America not pumping enough in Liberia for us to sustain ourselves militarily. We can't support our country. If anybody attack us, what would do? Sit there and wait for America to come from America to help us? Or we let our country be destroyed because there's an American base in our country? Who do you think they will attack first? They will attack us first. Gas, bombs. Is it worth it? Then we become stooges and pawns to America. Why? Because when America build a base in our country, she's pumping millions and millions of dollars in our country. That makes us dependent on America totally. So if America does something that our government does not approve of, and we say, no, we don't like it, they will say, we're taking our base from here. We'll move, when we have no interest in this country no more, we're moving to another country. Is that what we want? Look at right in America, the cities that house American bases, army bases, when they close the bases, those cities suffer because you got millions of soldiers coming to your country. You got millions of soldiers buying things in the stores, in the shops. When America leave, all those millions of soldiers leaving. Who's going to sustain your country with all these empty businesses? With all the infrastructure you have to build to sustain a foreign army? Who will sustain all of that? You know, we got to think ahead. It's not anything anybody. I'm just conscious because when people tell me they're not my interest, they have no interest in my country for years and I'm suffering, then all of a sudden they got interest in my country and want to build a military base. I got to look at all circumstances. How will I benefit? How will I lose? Let me bring my correspondent on from Liberia. Let's deal with this first. What are you doing, Mr. Samuel? What, how are you doing?
Yeah, good morning, bro. How you doing?
I can hear myself.
Hey, is it okay?
Hello? Yeah, it's okay. So how's everything?
Yeah, man. I mean, Liberia is just the same old thing yesterday, the day before, and the issue of this slow pace of the biometric takes the airway as a airline in this country today. And besides, Henry Costa, he apologized to Jeremiah Kuhn for accusing of
selling human being.
Yeah, for accusing of being a killer, murderer that sells human being in Africa and Europe.
You know
and
something?
what happened? How it happened? No one knows. How come he apologized? Or whatever. It came as a pressure from UP, other sources we don't know yet.
But first of all, that allegation or accusation that Costa made, that's not something he can prove. You know, if people could prove these ritualistic killings, we have people in jail now. All these people are doing this killing.
Yeah.
You see the mess, selling body parts, and all that kind of thing. So I was wondering, I've been sitting down wondering to see how Costa is going to navigate this allegation and accusation he made against Coon. So eventually he had to come out and say he's sorry. Because things like that you don't get it. That's why I never say anything about it. I wanted to see how he was going to navigate his way after calling Coon
And he got no proof.
killer and selling body part. How you going to navigate
Yeah, he
that?
got no proof, no photograph, nothing, no video recording, nothing, just a blank accusation.
Not even
So I mean,
witnesses.
no, nothing.
Witnesses would say, yeah, we saw the man doing it, we know he did it. But the part about it, you know,
That's how empty liberal propaganda is. Empty, no substance.
immaturity. You can't accuse
Yeah,
when you don't have nothing to prove it. You know, right now he could go to jail for that shit.
yeah.
You know, because he accused a man on worldwide TV of selling body parts.
I mean, go take into court.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, what benefit will we get to take Costa to court? What Costa got to take Costa to court? You see, it just when he said all kind of things on worldwide TV and all of that, you know, they're not going nowhere. You know, and people talk about. I heard some people on one of these talk shows talking about Costa comparing to George Weah. You can't compare Costa to George Weah. You know, telling how George Weah is a world star, and because of that, he's chosen. And all this shit. You know, our people that talk kind of foolishness. Costa is far higher educated than George Weah. Yes,
Far. That's far.
Yeah, George Weah got international popularity for playing sports, but you can't compare Costa with George Weah. There's no way you can compare.
No, there's no way, no, not at all.
Costa got more style. Costa got more everything than Weah, who got the presidency. That's about all he got. You know,
You can't compare them.
You can't compare them.
We are not learn.
Yeah, how you go compare? There's no way overnight Weah would be like Costa. Get Costa down, you know, talk about Costa like a man who can read and write, and because he can play football, he became president now. You know, whoever did that stupid thing was stupid. You know, these are all Liberian educated people, you know. We think we know everything. We compare people with everything. And sometimes you got to take a step back and look at yourself and think for yourself.
Yeah.
So what else happening in Liberia? We know all these biometric equipments are faulty. So you think they're ready secondhand? You think they're ready for Sierra Leone?
They are secondhand. What we hearing now that it comes from Sierra Leone. I have not proven it, but what we hearing around it comes from Sierra Leone. They are faulty. Most of them are faulty. These biometric machines are faulty.
Yeah, but it's not the cause of the people who are using it. They just faulty.
It's just faulty. No, not those that are trained. No.
So
the people want to work.
Those machines are secondhand machines.
Secondhand machines, and the workers complain. In fact, up and down, the food allowances are not being given since they started work. So they improvise.
The government hasn't paid NEC yet.
No, government hasn't given NEC $1 million. So NEC is broke. They're just managing. Can you imagine that?
Who's gonna get George Weah money?
But the taxes, I mean, you can raise taxes. The money, every little trip, that burger will carry more than 15 or 20%. A waste of resources.
But Sam, look, you saw the stadium the other day for the game.
Yeah.
You saw the stadium, right?
No motivation.
No money, not motivation. People ain't got money. How you go to game? You got money.
In the first place.
After that stadium was empty.
And it was $500 around the field.
That's how much is $500?
$500 about $1.50, $1.60.
Wow.
No, but $2, $2 plus
Wow.
US dollar, $2 plus US dollar. Yeah.
And the fee wasn't even packed.
It wasn't even packed. Yeah.
So many
But
empty
people,
seats.
people, things are so difficult. I mean, those kind of things. Suppose Lone Star those days, you will see all communities, buses, charter, cars moving, but nothing. No
Our
money.
country
It's true. No money.
gone down so bad.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's like there's no life.
only people like us who live on a turbo time understand how bad our country gone down. But these young children don't understand it.
They don't understand. They know anything. They haven't seen. They didn't see anything.
They didn't know where Liberia is.
Yeah.
You know?
But we educate them. We all around educating them. Liberia has gone backward.
Mother gotta see it.
We
No matter how you're
yeah,
educated,
you know.
they don't believe it, man.
I think the time of fighting was better than this time.
It's,
Okay, what else is happening in the country, Sam? Anything else?
well, then besides two major issues I haven't heard of. And then okay, Grand Crew County, the racial activities has increased. Till the superintendent called for people to be security for themselves in Grand Crew County. Yeah, they killed a university student. He got missing for like 7 days.
Wow. I also see the
Yeah.
news that the guns that came to the country are still coming.
Guns?
Yeah, in front page Africa, they're talking about all these shipment of arms that have been coming to Liberia from Texas and from everywhere, and they just stop another shipment and they see another one on the way.
If that's the case, the government is bringing arms because they know that they are not standing a better chance, so they are bringing arms.
Is that the government?
You know, they are bringing. It gotta be the government. Why is it that you capture, you arrested or continue field of arms, and there's no investigation? It's swept around the carpet. So I would think that you bringing arms. That you want to make a case. Yes.
And
who will be brave now bringing arms to the country?
I'm coming to Liberia now. They said 2 shipments already came, right?
I report. Yeah, report.
Now a 3rd shipment is on the way. They don't know where it is right now.
So you see, we are very sure that Interpol is helping Liberia to uncover all these things. Or had it been just Liberian security, nothing. All these things will enter.
If the government is involved with all of this, what hope is there for the country?
And why you think the CIA got to summon the president and his team? Why you think so? All these things.
The same smuggling.
Liberia has become a gateway to drugs from South America.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
Wow.
We got a Colombian consulate around Jamaica Road, same time area. People always talking about it. Colombia, this Lebanese guy, he's a consulate, for Colombia in Liberia.
So everything coming straight from Colombia to Africa.
Yeah. So all these guys, all the businesses, they are doing the kind of interaction. You know who are bringing drugs on ship? Even Kino from Ghana. The crew Kino, the Ghanaian Fanti Kino. They smuggle drugs to West Point. You won't believe it. A security man son at West Point came in a community. I was sitting doing something, and he was making contact for people to buy his drugs. It came by way of West Point, a bag of marijuana. So can you imagine? There's various security that are involved in these things. If I were a cop, I would arrest him. The old man came from West Point to come look for a buyer in Broadville.
With the kind of poverty rate in Liberia, I wouldn't arrest people for marijuana business. That's minor drugs. These days.
It's minor though.
This is not the olden days. This is not the 1960s, 1940s, where they were hanging.
Yeah, it's true.
Marijuana. Marijuana is not a dangerous drug that we thought it was. Marijuana got many medicinal properties.
Many health benefits. I know that.
Yeah, and with our country suffering like this, they're supposed to minimize, decriminalize marijuana. Let the people sell the marijuana.
I think so, because then of course it won't be too hard on the market. You can regulate them.
Then you stopping the people from selling marijuana. That's asinine. People won't stop cocaine and all the bad drugs. What other drugs you told me about?
Coos. They want to cut. Yeah, they say coos. Dangerous. It killing the boys.
All these dangerous
killing
drugs
them.
that they're sending our children crazy and causing them to lose their minds and their senses. We're not stopping it. We're stopping marijuana. That's asinine.
And they're bringing it bad drugs.
Yes.
They hire up are the one that are bringing the bad drugs.
Through the sport and everything. The poor people are bringing the marijuana to the canoe and all this kind of thing. Why are you stopping them?
Yeah.
It is time for us all over West Africa to decriminalize marijuana. They did it in Jamaica. Why? Because they got too many suffering people there. If selling weed to the foreigners will give you money, why are you stopping the people?
That's a fact.
People that legalize marijuana in America, in Europe, and all of that. Why are we still holding on to these laws that are issued? And our people suffering, and they can be selling weed to make money. And no good weed in Liberia sell. Can you imagine that?
No.
Weed in Liberia, man, they got so dust. Y'all need to bring some damn weed from Ghana.
And when you guys go raid,
yeah,
they will take every pin from your house. You'll enter the room.
They
everything.
Liberia got to come in power with the world now. As long as Jamaica can decriminalize marijuana, we need to do it in Liberia. Our people suffering too much. What all this craziness about? Just where they're bringing all the real drugs to the poor. Our people smuggling marijuana by ocean. Because what kind of other drug they will smuggle that they can grow already in Africa here? Only marijuana.
And they get found all in Liberia.
Yes. And any other people growing drugs in their country, growing poppy plants there for cocaine and things, that means the government sanctioned it. Because nowhere in Africa people will be growing poppy plants for cocaine and all these things, and the government will not know about it. Once you see it like that, the government sanctions it. Even with marijuana, you can have poor people growing marijuana. You can have the rich companies growing marijuana too. That's money.
You know, it's not harmful. I don't know why. I don't know. It's not harmful.
But even in Jamaica and places where they legalize marijuana, they still got dispensaries. They still got people who grow it professionally because everybody don't know how to grow marijuana professionally. So they give licenses to pharmacy. The country make money. You know, the country making money. The people making money. You know, they have found out that marijuana is not as evil as they thought it was before. So why in Africa, where we got the nice grass, the nice weather to grow weed and everything, we are the people prosecuting people for marijuana. You know, and we got all these dangerous drugs coming through our ports. Our police, marijuana is supposed to be for the customs people because we want money. The custom people supposed to be running behind marijuana. The police supposed to be running behind cocaine and all the other high drugs, kush and all the other drugs. You know, we want money from marijuana. Let's pass the law, let's legalize marijuana or decriminalize it where we can make money for it and let the custom people run it. You know? We always go do things backwards. Nobody going forward. We're going backwards.
And Liberia, you look at Liberia nowadays, like there's no system or people are not thinking.
There's no law. There's no law.
Yeah. The country has broken down, man.
That's why I was talking about discipline. I come to finish my class right after you leave. So whatever you got to conclude, let's conclude it now.
There's a need for nationwide education on the importance of being a patriotism. Once you're not patriotic, you got no bound to your country. You only want to steal and go outside. That's why you see most leaders, got properties outside Liberia.
Yeah, look at
Because we're not patriotic.
all of them got property in Kenya, in South Africa. We got to go after these people properties. People can steal our money and just go build all over Africa. What's that? We got to flex the strong arm of our law. We got to flex the strong arm of our laws and let it go to South Africa, let it go to Dubai, let it go to everywhere these people got homes, and we're going to confiscate them and sell them. Conclude, Sam. I know you're having transmission problems, so I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay? My people, it is sad. It is so, so sad that our leaders, those that were put in charge of our nation, take our country and our laws for granted. They think they can joke with it. They think they can tell us anything they want to tell us. And if it sounds good to them, it sounds good to us. But they fail to realize that they are high school dropouts. No matter what they try to do, no matter what kind of degree Santuel got, Santuel can't impress us because his degree is not wholesome. His education is not wholesome. You got to have a wholesome education. What does that mean? You got to encompass everything in life. Your education got to include good societal living, good community activities, good education, good relationship with people in your community and your family. All those things make us who we are. And if you cannot comply with or excel on any of these levels, you're a failure. If in your family you're deceitful, you're a liar, you're a rogue, even though they accept you, and all of them laugh with you, but they know you're bad, a bad apple. But they can't talk because they won't benefit from you when you get in government because of your education. That's a problem for our country. That means the family is supporting these rogues in power, and we support them on tribal lines, on family lines. We have no patriots. That's what my Samuel just said. It's my correspondent in Liberia. We have no patriots because when you're a patriot, it doesn't matter whether that's family or not. All that matters is if it's right or wrong, if it's good or bad for Liberia. And if it's bad, the chips got to fall where they may. And people got to be punished, whether they're your relatives or not. You know, we played this deceitful game with each other for so long, man. It's not helping our country. It is really, really not helping our country. When people do wrong, they got to be punished. It doesn't matter whether they're your cousin, that your brother or your sister. If they have the nerve to do evil, heinous things to the Liberian people, they got to be punished. We can't do it we can't leave them for peace sake. We cannot forget about the punishment because one day we'll get in trouble too and we want people to help us. That's not how our country works. No, that's not how discipline works. No. Why we discipline people? To deter things, to stop things from happening. This brings me right back to my lesson from yesterday. Discipline. Why do we discipline people? To deter evil ways, evil behaviors. behaviors that are dishonest and untrustworthy, that bring shame and disgrace to all of us as a people and a nation. Those kind of behaviors. That's why discipline is essential, to curb those kind of nasty and wicked behavior, selfish, evil behavior. Look at us with the Chinese. I don't wonder how the Chinese people that deal with us. Because in China, when they find people guilty of corruption, they execute them. You hear them executing all the people who are corrupt. So when they're dealing with Liberian people and African people who are inherently corrupt, how do they deal with us? Do they go home and and bang the table and the food and everything? So these damn corrupt Africans, how do we deal with them? We can't deal with them. We get them money they want to steal it. We get everything to steal it. We put that out there to steal it. They got nothing to steal it. How do we deal with these Africans? So how do Chinese people deal with us? Because every time you hear Chinese people executing people for corruption, they don't take BS from the people. So how do they deal with African people who you can't lay a dime down? They will steal it and lie to you. How do you deal with those kind of people? And you see, we have a serious problem, we black people, not only Liberian people, all black people, because we have been subjected to enslavement. We have learned deception and lies to evade punishment from the masters, from the white people. But this has come back to haunt us, because now our whole society is inherently corrupt. We lie about every little thing. We steal anything we can put our hands on. It's not good for us no more. The age of trying to lie to the white man and deceive the white man over. All the evil things we used to do and tell the people for peace sake, there's for peace sake came from the white people time too. White people were in Liberia, yes. The white people in Liberia. And they founded all the foundational aspects for the ACS, for us coming to settle in Liberia. And the Africans used the same for peace sake to deceive them. Then we came from America, already used to deceiving the white people, coming to Africa to join the other African. It got worse. The deception and lies just blew out of proportion. Then Tottenham took it to another level, bribed the whole damn country. Now here we are, a corrupt nation, man. Totally corrupt. Totally corrupt. I'm not blaming Tottenham, because Tottenham had to do what he had to do to save Liberia, to keep his regime intact. And if it was bribing the people, it was bribing the people. Liberia had no system of leadership at that time. We were just a young nation striving to exist. Then we had these 16 tribal nations fighting us all the time. We still have some serious tribal issues on our Tottenham. Look at us today. We still got tribal issues in our country. The tribal government running the country, but the tribal issues are so many, they are surmountable more than before. Why? Because everybody feel they need to lead the country now. Everybody feel they have an ownership of the government of Liberia. They can't understand that everybody can't lead the country. They can't understand that one tribe cannot benefit from the country, or one or two, three tribes cannot benefit from the country. They can't understand that. Under Tottenham time was different. All the tribes were against the Congo people, so Tottenham could manipulate the tribes, do what he wanted to do, set up his government the way he wanted to do it. That was under the Congo leadership. Majority of the indigenous people didn't know how to read and write. Those that knew how to read and write, they were amalgamated in. They were absorbed into the society, giving positions, giving education, everything. So they could go out and control their people. Indirect rule. The same thing British people use, the same thing the colonists use to control the tribes. You see? But what they talk about them, they broke that chieftaincy system, that real hereditary chieftaincy system. They broke it. Chieftaincy became political. If you please the government, we made you chief. It was no more hereditary. Not even your children who inherit from you after we made you chief. Because we didn't want that kind of hereditary system. When you keep that hereditary system, then everything in the country become one system of leadership. We are a democratic country. We can't have people having positions of hereditary traits. No, we can't have that. That is against democracy. So what you do, you crush all chieftaincies. You crush everything that got hereditary traits, and you turn it into political appointments. Because when you got people who are kings and their children have the right to be kings too and all that, that's a monarchy. You creating a monarchy, and a monarchy cannot exist within a democratic system. When you have a monarchy existing within a democratic system, it defeats the purpose of democracy. It defeats it. Because that means the chief alone will still have power over thousands and thousands of people. And he can oppose the government. He can fight the government. He can deny the government. He can do everything like that. And we can't tolerate those kind of things. Okay? So, that brings me to my second point of discipline. Yesterday, I talked about discipline on a personal level, where I told you that's one kind of discipline. You have to have personal discipline in your life. If you don't have personal discipline in your life, you cannot achieve anything. Because the first step to achieving discipline in your life is to know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you will not know what you want to achieve. That's why when you ask some people in their young ages, man, what do you want to be? He said, I don't know. I don't know what I want to be. Don't be surprised, because those people do not know themselves yet. Sometimes people got to go through college and all in college before they know who they are, know what they want in life. Some people can't decide. Not because they have so many options, but it's just because they were never raised or trained to be disciplined. So when you're not trained to be disciplined, you can't choose nothing. You have a variety of things, but you're not focused. That's focus. Discipline gives you focus. When your parents discipline you from small, teach you what time to eat, what time to be home, what time to do things, give you discipline in your life from small, you learn how to choose. You grow up knowing some things you want to do. By looking at other people and getting interest in things, you develop interest in things around you. That's how you choose where you want to be in life. But your parents never gave you that kind of discipline. They let you do what you want to do. They let you sleep as long as you want to sleep. They let you, they will just come to your room, Mama, get up, you got to go to school. Get up and go to school. They make sure you go to school. But besides that, they don't help you with your homework. They don't help you. They got parents like that too. If your teacher don't teach you in school, don't come home depend on your mom and pa. They ain't going to teach you nothing. Perhaps they don't know nothing. Perhaps they're working, doing double and triple to pay the bills in the house. They ain't got time to be there. So you on your own. Some of us can grow up with all the parents in our lives, but still have no parents. Because our parents not there every day for us. They're working. They're doing things to keep the house going. So we are still raised like we have no parents. And some of us got to make decisions for ourselves. But one good thing about it is, you see, most of the people who come from good families, what do I call good families? An educated family, a productive family. If even a family not educated, they're into business, they got good business going, they're making money. The mother and father out there making money, they know how to make money. That's a different kind of family from a family that has nothing to do. The mom and pa just go to work every day and come back home. That's a different kind of family. So you got one family that productive into business, into doing things. The children got to get involved. The children got to get involved. And if the parents, though not educated, are involved in good business, they know the significance of education. Why? Because for them to excel in their businesses, though not educated, they had to get some kind of education to understand the business. So those are some of the parents that encourage their children to go to school. They tell them, look, you got to go to school, man. Look at all the business we got. We need somebody to take it over. You got to learn it. You got to learn how to do business. You got to learn how to add and subtract and do. And they push their children to go to school because they want them to take all the business. Okay? So those are the parents that benefit. Those are the families that excel. Okay? Now, even if you're working in a scene, let's get into the other aspect of discipline now, because we're talking about the outside now, not the personal aspect of discipline. In anything you do on the outside, you are subjected to discipline. Working on a job, playing for a soccer team, playing for a football team, working for the government, doing social welfare, anything you do on the outside, you are subject to discipline. Why? Because if people take the effort to put things together for the society, for the community, for their family, for themselves, and they want to hire people to run these things, they want people that are committed to doing things the right way. They want people that know what they're doing. They want people that understand responsibility, trustworthiness, patience, because all of that build the business. All of that make the business move forward. And if you don't have these disciplinary traits in you, either two things will happen when you are hired. One, you either let go of yourself or you create the atmosphere, a situation that the company will let you go. Now, I told you all about progressive discipline. Nowadays, people hate for people to just take people and fire them overnight. The only people can do that in some instances are private companies. When you got your private business, you hire and fire on your will or based on your agreement with whoever you're hiring. Most people, when they get hired, especially in big business, they sign contract. The contract lays out your rules and laws and policies that you got to abide by. And you got to abide by them. And those kind of companies, their system of disciplining can be different than when you're working for public company. When you're working for government and all those kind of things, government lay out certain policies that people must abide by to fire you. That's why it's hard to fire people for government because everybody feels entitled to something in government. So people, when they kind of fire you, they feel that they're taking your daily right from you because everybody entitled to government job. It's a right. You have a right to government job. Everybody can't get it, but it's your right if you have the opportunity, the education, everything to get it. Some people don't like to fire people from government job like that because government job hard to get. And with all the nepotism and favoritism and all the things involved in hiring people sometimes, People don't just let people go because it hurts families. And when you fire people for government job like that, families want retaliation too. Why you fire my family member? Especially if that family member is a big breadwinner for plenty of people in the family. But so it's different. So for government, they lay out the whole policy of progressive disciplining. They got some in the private sector too, in the private companies, but they may not be as in-depth and lengthy as the government structure. In the government structure, you got several steps before you discipline somebody. Discipline means to punish somebody. We have the company policy. The company says, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. You know, many people in America who work in, especially me who work in corrections, every time they make a new policy, I gotta read it and sign it and pass it on. Why? That keeps a record of the fact that I know the policy. I have read the policy. I have signed on that I've read and understood the policy. That goes into my record, into a general record. So if anything come out, I say, oh, I didn't get the policy. I didn't say you lied. Yeah, your signature. You read it. You knew it. So you know the policy. So when you violate the policy, how do we rectify your bad behavior? Because that's a part of discipline. I told you, discipline, what does it mean of discipline? Learning, training somebody to obey rules and laws and codes and disciplining them for violating those rules. That's the whole process of discipline. Because part of disciplining is deterrence. What is deterrence? When you punish people, you send them a message out to everybody. This man violated the rules, he's being punished. But not only that, then you telling those other people who thinking about doing the same thing that this man did, but haven't done it. You telling them, don't do it. When you do it, this is the punishment you get. They call that deterrence. Because the people haven't done it yet. They may be thinking about it. But when they see you punishing people for it, that's sending a message to them, telling them, don't do it. You do it, that's your punishment. They call that, so they are deterred from doing anything bad. They are turned away. They will move a different direction. Instead of planning to do that same thing, they will say, no, that it will not work. They will catch us. They call that guy already, let's do something else. So that's what they call deterrence. When you do something to stop people from doing the same thing that somebody else did. So, in government, the steps are many for progressive discipline. That's what they call it, progressive discipline. You are moving to the next step. It's progressive. You're not just sitting down doing the same thing or say the man violates something. You say, okay, my man, I'm giving you a verbal warning. Don't do it again, okay? Okay, I take the verbal warning. But the person do it again, then you sit down and do the same verbal warning. No, it can't be that. They're not progressive disciplining. So they got steps to disciplining. Because at the end of the discipline is firing the person. You want to fire this person. This person is terrible. But you can't just fire them like that. No, the law will not let it go like that. The law will ask you questions. Why you want to take this man daily bread for him when you didn't tell the man that he did wrong? Or the man did wrong one time and you didn't want to fire him for that. So that not progressive disciplining. They will say, no, you can't do that. So what is progressive disciplining? You're working as a store boy. You got policies you can't do. They say, don't do this. You made a mistake and did it. Or you did it deliberately. Because you felt you would benefit in some way or the company would benefit. Whatever way you did, it wasn't corrupt. It was a mistake. Corruption is different from mistake. When you do corruption, they can fire you on the spot. You stole. They will call police. That's a different kind of discipline. That is totally out of the realm of that discipline I'm talking about. When you steal, when you corrupt, when you kill people, when you commit a crime on the job, that is out of the realm of progressive discipline. That means the company has no jurisdiction over you no more. When you commit a crime, they got to call the police in to investigate. They have no arrest authority to investigate crimes. They have no jurisdiction over that. That's a police matter. That one, when you see you working on a job and one of your employees commit a crime, steal money, lie, and cause the company to lose money, and do things that have pecuniary results or impact. What is pecuniary? Money. Anything that has pecuniary income and impact on the company, they got to call the police. They can't investigate it themselves. If they investigate it themselves, you can fight them. You can fight them and try to fire you for them investigating a crime against you. They have no legal authority to do that. They have no arrest authority to do that. So why would they want to investigate a crime when they can't arrest you for it? When they can't jail you for it? When they can't fire you for it? They can't, because they are not the authority to investigate crimes. You can fight them. Okay, so we'll take crimes and heinous acts out of that disciplinary process I'm talking about. Okay? Those are handled by the police. So the company you're working with has no authority over that. They got to turn it over to the police. But if you're working and you make a mistake on the job, say you were supposed to sign something for somebody and you made a mistake and didn't sign it, and the thing went through and the company lost money, or something happened like that, that impacts the company income and business, and the company want to punish you for that. It is not anything with corruption or stealing. It's a mistake. It's a bad judgment. Those are things that happen. You can be a leader and make bad judgment. And they say, my man, you have all the other things. Why you couldn't decide? Say, oh man, I did this. So then they punish you for that. Because when you cause the company to lose money and wealth, somebody got to account for it. So you got to be responsible for that. So how do they discipline you? They got to have steps to discipline you. So the first step is called coaching, where I will call you in the office and say, look, man, Joe, you caused us to lose money, man. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. You got to be disciplined. So you can go with oral discipline. Oral discipline can also be written. You can tell them it's oral discipline, but you're documenting it for record-keeping purposes. So that's an oral written reprimand. You get that. That may be a slap on the hand. They may tell you, okay, don't do it no more. Go. That may be called for counseling. When they're coaching you, they can counsel you. They counsel you, that stays in your record for 6 months. Where I work, that stays when they counsel you, written counseling, it stays in your record for 6 months to make sure you don't do that same thing again. You can do any other offense, but you can't do that same offense again. That offense is on record. If you do another offense, they will call you in and write you up for that. How will they impact the whole offense? They will tell you. They will tell you you got 2 offenses now. One more, you face suspension. So you got 2 separate offenses, but the company can suspend you. Can take the next step toward discipline. Telling you they can either suspend you for the second offense where you got 2 offenses, despite the fact they're different. You're a disciplinary problem. You face 1 day suspension. Especially if the offenses are similar. They may not be the same, but will be almost the same. They can suspend you. So that's the progressive discipline. 1, they will coach you, give you oral warning, or 2, they may give you written warning. in the oral form, or oral and written warning together. So that two warnings. The third warning, they will suspend you. That means they got to take stronger discipline measure against you now because you become a problem. They told you not to do this. You are insubordinate. You did it. They told you not to do the other thing. You are insubordinate. You did it. There are two insubordination. So they got to suspend you now to show you that the first one they talked to you about it, the second one they wrote you up. Now the third one they got to take a greater action than before to send a message to you. So what is that? Suspension. Take your money. They suspend you for 2-3 days without pay. Some people, it can hurt you. It can hurt you. Especially you living paycheck to paycheck, it can hurt you. Then the final stage now is dismissal. So they did the coaching, the oral warning, they talked to you. They did the written warning. It could be oral into written warning together. They did that. They suspended you for 3 days for the same insubordination. Now, insubordination doesn't have to be the same way it happened to the same person. Okay? When your boss tell you to do something and you disrespect him and act wrong, that's insubordination. It may come in different form. That don't mean you did it to this one man. You did it here, then you want someone else and did it there. That's the same insubordination. When it comes down to insubordination, you come through and you did it here, that insubordination. Then they can suspend you. Okay? So you don't have to do it to the same person in the same place. But if the action that you commit amounts to the same offense, then you get progressive discipline from there to suspension and to firing. Okay? That's progressive discipline, and that's my class for today. I hope you understood that. So progressive discipline happens mainly when you're working for people or you're doing work for people, whether it's your daily job or humanitarian job or whatever job you do that holds you responsible to be disciplined for your actions. Okay? If they got rules and policies that you got to follow and you disobey them, they got to have a process of punishing you. But private sector, they can do anything they want to do. In the private sector, you do something right away, they can fire you. They don't have to give you progressive discipline. I know that because I've seen people fire in the private sector. They say, no, we can't afford this man. This man is a genius to our company. What the government will do about it? You can go to labor ministry. They will try to push it. But if the company has a strong reason for dismissing you, there's so much the company can do. That way they got unemployment for all the places for government when they fire you right away. And if no fault of yours, maybe you're incompetent. Even you're incompetent, that's not your fault. They're not stealing or corruption, so maybe you can go get unemployment. That's why they got government unemployment to help people who are fired from their job and don't have any means to survive. So you go get unemployment for a while until you get back on your feet. That's my class for the day. Have a good day, my people. Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson class is done. It's time for me to get out of Dodge. If you don't understand that, that's too bad. Hang your jersey up. It's time to go to sleep.